Welcome to Publisher Spotlight, and here are a few of our picks for older readers from our booth that we have at ALA Annual in 2021. So let's start off with this winner from NBM, and this is Giant by Michael, who is a French-Canadian author-illustrator of this incredible graphic novel set during the Depression in New York City, and the people who would build the skyscrapers. So this is during the construction of Rockefeller Center. Giant is a lonely, rather taciturn man who starts writing letters to the widow of one of his fallen comrades, and it becomes complicated, as things often do, when she comes to New York City. It's a beautiful story, beautifully told, and one thing I especially appreciated were the little bits of historical information that were included, such as Walter Winchell is a partial narrator of this. And you get glimpses into what life was like just before, just during the Depression, at the end of the Hoover presidency and the beginning of the Roosevelt presidency. So an incredible, beautiful graphic novel set during the Depression that just has so much to see on every page. And I think it's a winner. So check it out, that along with NBM's other graphic novels. Let's talk about audiobooks for just a moment. Dawn Raid is by Pauline Valega Smith, and she won the Best New Author Award in New Zealand, where she is based. And this is about a 12-year-old who reads about the Black Panthers in the U.S. and gets concerned about the way the government is treating the indigenous peoples, the Maori of New Zealand, and decides to become a protester. So this is a wonderful story. It's a model for protesting. It won all sorts of awards, and it is now available on audio from Dreamscape. So check out Dawn Raid. Make sure you can see that. Another graphic novel for you, Othello. No, this is Hamlet, but I also have Othello. So there you go. So you should know that Manga Classics does an amazing job of doing the full text of the Shakespearean plays in a manga format so that the kids can actually access the information in a variety of ways. They capture all the drama that you would expect from a play from Shakespeare, but in language that is more accessible because of the illustrations. Now, I said language that's more accessible. I think the reason I had Hamlet here is because they are coming out with a modern language Hamlet as well. So for those kids who just really need it rendered into present-day language, there is that option, as well as this version that has the full text of the original play. All that is from Manga Classics. Next up, I can't think of any books that are set in Greenland. And why is that, other than Smell a Sense of Snow? Sorry, there is one. But this is a new book from Inhabit Media, which has really made a name for themselves in terms of presenting the stories of indigenous peoples in Canada, Inuit stories and culture. And this takes place in Greenland, and these were stories that were collected by Knud Rasmussen, who was an anthropologist and explorer. And he got a lot of oral histories during his time there. And these have been retold by, what is her name again? Gunvor Bjerre. And then the illustrations are by Mickey Jacobson. And Mickey Jacobson is a really celebrated artist in Greenland. So these are stories that are all dealing with young people and children. And you'll find polar bears, and orphans are always orphans in stories of the Arctic. Just shamans who can fly. So much to explore, and the illustrations by Mickey Jacobson are just so gorgeous and full of life. I'm trying to find one that's, so there you can see how they are. And, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And this is suitable for, I'd say, ages 10 or 12 and up. So this is The Man of the Moon, Stories from Greenland, from Inhabit Media. From 360 Degrees, I'm very excited to show you this book. This is called Climate Action, obviously. And the thing I love about this is it does go into what is happening to the planet. And each spread, there are ways that kids can actually do things themselves that are actionable tasks they can undertake to help change the course of the direction of the planet, and in terms of what's happening with it, the climate change. And the illustrations are amazing. There's so much to see and do on every spread. So for those kids who really like to have lots of points of entry, you can find those in here. And this is just an F&G. If you're wondering why the book is falling apart, don't worry. Yours will be bound. This is just an advanced copy. So one thing I love about this also is it profiles lots of kids who have done things in their own communities. It's called Change Makers. So look for that here. This is Climate Action from 360 Degrees. And last but not least, from Britannica Books and What on Earth Books, we have Listified. Whoa, this is quite a volume, and you can see it's very, very shiny. So if you saw the Encyclopedia Britannica that came out last year for kids, and you saw the Listified sections, you know exactly where this came from. And this is perfect for those kids who really love, and adults, frankly, I love this kind of stuff too. Was a big fan of the Book of Lists when I was a kid. This is for those people who really enjoy lists of things and thinking about things in categories that you would not normally put together. You can be totally random. I don't even know what page I'm opening up to. And here we see clever canines. So you can see which are the smartest dogs. The Border Collie is the smartest. And at the bottom of this list is the Australian Cattle Dog. So there you go. These are 10 of the brainiest breeds of dogs. So that is one page. What's something else we got here? The Weight of the World on your shoulders. The Only Way is Up. 6 of the fastest growing plants. I'm sure bamboo is there. Just a few of the things that you can find in Listified. Really a good companion with Factopia. Learn more about that on our ALA site as well. And learn about all the books that we have in the booth. I think there are almost 500 on our Pinterest board. So visit Publisher Spotlight on Pinterest and look at the ALA annual page. Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out our little video about new books coming for younger children.